Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into something really fundamental, how we can shift from fear to faith. How to actually live with more peace, more joy. Our guide for this is Gabrielle Bernstein's really powerful book, The Universe Has Your Back. And our mission really is to dig into the practical stuff inside, exploring how that universal support she talks about, it's always there for you, even maybe especially when you feel alone.
Yeah, and what's so great about this book, it's not just dry theory, right? Gabby packs it with her own stories, like really personal stuff, plus these universal lessons and things you can actually do. Actionable practices, she talks openly about facing, deep fear and anxiety, even when from the outside looking in, her life seemed pretty perfect.
Right, that story about the yoga class.
Exactly, that yoga class meltdown.
Yeah.
It leads to a full-blown panic attack. And this is someone with an amazing husband, career kicking off, loving family, all of it. But those moments, those really intense experiences, they pushed her to figure out her own inner resistance, resistance to love, to freedom. And her honesty is what makes it work, I think. She puts her own failures, her shame right out there in the light, which kind of gives us permission, It lets you feel like your struggles can be looked at, transformed too. It's just a very refreshing read. Soul nourishing, as she puts it.
That's such a key point. It's lived experience, not just ideas. And she turns that into practical tools for us, which is exactly what we want to unpack for you in this deep dive. Some surprising facts, maybe, and definitely concrete tools from her work, tools to help you navigate life, because challenges, well, they happen, right?
They absolutely do.
And it's this powerful reminder that maybe happiness and freedom, maybe they're simpler to get to than we think. Often it comes down to this practice of surrender, surrendering to the love of the universe, letting go, letting that energy flow instead of always, fighting it. So let's pick up on that idea, inner resistance you mentioned, that recognition Gabby had and that many of us probably have too. Recognizing that sometimes the biggest block isn't out there somewhere, it's happening inside us.
Exactly. That's often the starting point. Gabby helps us see how this inner resistance to love and freedom, how it shows up, maybe as self-doubt or needing to control everything, or just that deep fear of being vulnerable.
That little voice.
Yeah, that voice saying, not good enough, or if I let go, it'll all fall apart. Like her panic attack in yoga, it wasn't really about the pose, was it? It was about that internal fight to control her life, even the seemingly perfect parts. She was, in that moment, resisting a deeper flow, resisting love, acceptance.
But it feels kind of backward, doesn't it? We're sort of taught that control, planning, striving, those are good, responsible things.
Right.
So how does this idea of resistance square with just, trying to get things done? Doesn't letting go mean giving up?
That's a really common thought and a great question. And Gabby's not saying be apathetic, just sit back and do nothing. What she's getting at is that resistance, especially resistance to love, to guidance, it actually blocks the support that's available. It makes things feel like a struggle when maybe they could be easier. When we're holding on so tight to our own, rigid plans, we can completely miss the other signals, the guidance the universe might be sending. Often it's more subtle, maybe more expansive. It boils down to recognizing fear is behind that resistance, and fear just disconnects us.
Okay, so identifying the resistance is step one. What's the main practice then, according to Gabby, to move past it? You mentioned surrender. Sounds like that's pretty central. What does she mean by that practically?
It is absolutely core to her message.
Yeah.
Surrender, the way Gabby talks about it, it's not passive. It's not giving up. It's an active choice. A choice to release your attachment to how things turn out.
Okay.
Think of it like pushing really hard on a door that's actually meant to be pulled. Surrender is that moment you realize, oh, I'm pushing against it, and you become willing to try pulling instead. She shares stories about her career, pushing so hard for certain things, only to find they kind of just happened, almost effortlessly. Once she let go of controlling how they showed up, when she started trusting that the right path would reveal itself.
So it's not doing nothing, it's releasing the how. But what if you really do need something specific, a goal, a dream? How does surrender work with ambition?
That's a super important distinction. It's about inspired action after you surrender. You still set intentions, absolutely. You still take steps, but you let go of the need to micromanage the whole journey.
Okay, I see.
Gabby suggests that when we surrender, we open up.
Yeah.
We become receptive to guidance that feels more effortless, intuitive. And those things we see as obstacles, roadblocks. The book suggests thinking of them as detours in the right direction, maybe leading you somewhere even better than your original kind of limited plan.
A detour in the right direction. I like that.
Yeah. It's about letting the universe co-create with you, not just trying to force your will onto everything.
So how do we actually do it? How do we surrender? Is there like a specific technique,
Yeah,
a mental trick?
definitely. One really powerful practice she comes back to again and again is just saying, I am willing to see this differently. It sounds simple, but it's profound. When you're caught in fear or resistance,
Hmm.
instead of fighting it, you just acknowledge it and you offer up that willingness.
Yeah.
Willingness to let the universe show you another way to see it.
Mhm.
She also talks about literally like mentally handing over your fears, your
Mhm.
anxieties, giving them to a higher power or the universe, just relinquishing that control.
Okay, that makes sense. Which brings us to another piece, setting clear intentions. How does that fit with surrender? It sounds almost opposite. Surrendering control, but then saying what you want.
It feels that way sometimes, but it's actually complementary, not contradictory at all. Once you've surrendered the attachment to the outcome, then you set a clear intention. Think of it like placing an order, maybe.
Right.
You clearly state what you desire,
Right.
but then you trust. You trust the universe knows the best way to deliver it, or maybe something even better, and in the perfect timing, which is often not our timing.
Ah, the timing thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Is it the difference between like wishing for something with a clenched fist full of anxiety
Yeah.
and intending it with an open hand, rooted in trust, in love, not fear or scarcity? The book is really clear on that.
Okay. And the final piece seems to be about presence. Cultivating that sense of being right here, right now. We hear a lot about mindfulness. How does being present connect to turning fear into faith?
Presence is everything. It's the portal, really, the portal to peace. Because think about it, fear tends to live in the past, right?
Mm.
Regret, guilt, or it lives in the future. Anxiety, worry about what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Love, guidance from the universe. That's always available now, in this moment. So when we're truly present, grounded, we can actually hear those subtle nudges. Those intuitive feelings, the ones our busy minds or our rigid plans might just drown out otherwise. Gabby emphasizes simple mindfulness things, ways to just ground yourself in the now, reminding us that by being fully present, we align with that universal energy. We become open, receptive to the little miracles maybe. They're always happening around us. And it's usually in that space of presence we realize, oh, the universe's timing is perfect. It's my impatience that's the problem.
Wow. So what a journey we've sort of traced here today. From recognizing that sometimes surprising inner resistance we have, resistance to love, to freedom, all the way to these really practical, powerful steps, surrendering, setting intentions clearly, and cultivating presence.
Yeah.
It really is remarkable, this idea that the universe is constantly giving us guidance, often in ways we don't expect, mysterious ways. And like you said, Gabby reminds us, even those things that feel like obstacles, they might just be detours in the right direction.
Exactly. And if you zoom out a bit, connect this to the bigger picture. It really shines a light on that profound idea. Projection is perception. The world you see, how you experience it, it's largely, as the author says, like a reflection of your inner movie screen, your internal stories.
What you're putting out there.
And the power in that is realizing you can choose. You can choose love over fear in any given moment. And what's really cool is how quickly you can shift back, how quickly you can restore your alignment with that loving, universal energy. Your happiness, the book argues, is basically a direct result of how quickly you can turn fear back to love.
That speed of return.
Yeah. And this connects to something else fascinating, collective energy. The book talks about the Maharishi effect, this idea that positive energy, even from individuals doing their inner work, can actually impact the wider community.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's a study mentioned, I think, where just 1% of community's population meditating, it correlated with like a 16% drop in the crime rate in that area, which is kind of staggering.
Wow, 16%.
Yeah. It suggests that your inner work, your shift from fear to love, it's not just for you. It actually ripples out. It contributes to a more peaceful collective vibe.
That's a really powerful thought, that our inner state isn't just contained, it radiates. Okay, so speaking of individual power and choice, here's a final thought. Something provocative for you to maybe sit with after we wrap up. What if? What if the biggest thing blocking you from receiving the miracles, the guidance you want, what if it isn't your circumstances? What if it's just your timeline?
Your own deadline.
Exactly. Your attachment to when things should happen. What if real freedom, real abundance unlocks the moment you surrender those rigid plans, those expectations, the moment you actually start trusting that the universe's timing, it's always perfect?
Gabby definitely shares her own struggles with that, like trying to conceive.
Right. Realizing your plans are in the way of God's plan, as she put it, that need to control the when. So maybe just consider How could you release that need just a little bit? That need to control the outcomes. How could you embrace this moment more fully and just allow love to lead the way like the book suggests? See what happens then.